So if you know who Sandra Bullock is, do you guys know who Sandra Bullock is? Just checking. Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
She's a smoke show.
So Sandra Bullock,
Former.
she is known for her versatile career as a talented actress. Well, she has been told by her daughter, she has 2 adopted kids. She's been told by her daughter that she's not woke enough. Her daughter's name is Layla, and they were watching Squid Game. Remember we were talking earlier about Squid Game? And it says they were watching Squid Games with her partner, and the actress initially thought that her daughter Layla had left the room due to the bloodshed that was present on the screen. Yeah. And when she asked her later why she didn't want her to watch it, her daughter says she doesn't want her or her dad to watch it, or the dad to watch it, because I'm going to read the quote. It says, "I don't want dad to watch that because there are no black people in it."
What?
Dude, I feel so bad for
I'm putting this on screen. Like, okay. Actually,
black community to constantly be weaponized by the stupidest people on earth.
It's a Korean show.
Well, that's my main question here. I said, like, I mean, does that, like, don't you, she applauds her daughter. I'll read what she said. She goes, Sandra Bullock explained that her daughter's response made her extremely happy because she was already voicing, and her children are more woke than her. The fact that that there was a fire in her belly made me so happy that she was already voicing. I let my kids teach me and tell me what they need to know. I thought I was educated and woke. I thought I had it all. I guess I wasn't. You let your kids teach you.
Yeah, I'm not a parent. I don't know about you two, but I'm pretty sure it goes the other way.
I
could be wrong.
So says the theory.
She wants her kids to teach her. And my question is, maybe you shouldn't applaud. Yeah. Maybe you should ask them about context and regional diversity, and understand that diversity and woke doesn't mean black people. That's not the only thing it means. It can mean that. You should actually be more worried that your child is being groomed into like a weird ideological cult. Yes. And I'm picturing this, right? So picture that the daughter is now 16 years old and her mom's buying her first car. And she goes to the car dealership and you know, is she going to be like, I don't want to buy this car because the person selling me the car is white and there's not enough diversity in this sale? Like, do they understand that there's a difference between this happening on screen and this happening in the real world? Because not understanding that a Korean drama isn't going to look like an American drama seems like something you would actually want to talk to your kid about, and not just say, I'm so proud of them teaching me about being woke.
See, if I tried to teach something to my mother, keep in mind, she's an Italian lady.
Yeah.
Okay. That you would still be looking for my body today.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just put it that way. Shout out to my mom.
You have to wonder if like this is going to become the dominant narrative between parents and kids in the future, because that's what they want.
Not in my house.
Not in your house.
No, yeah, of course not. Yeah.
She says, as a white parent who loves her children more than life itself, I'm scared of everything laying all kinds of existential anxiety on them.
Oh, go to hell.
Because she has her kids are adopted. So, you know, it's the quintessential Hollywood story of like they basically adopt children as like a type of diversity signal.
So at some point, does she have to explain to her kid, because her kids are black, right?
Yes.
Does she have to explain to her kids she chose them because they're black? Does she have to explain that?
I don't like. I mean, it's the same thing happened with Angelina Jolie, right?
I mean, that seems a little messed up to me.
Here's a story for you. Okay, so Jim Caviezel. If you guys know who Jim Caviezel is, he was in Passion of the Christ, right? He's a devout Catholic, right? Yeah. And he told this story where he had a friend who was staunchly pro-life, and he said, like, I will reverse my position on, or I'm sorry, I rephrase it. He had a friend that was staunchly pro-choice, right? And he said, I will change my position and become pro-life if you adopt a child from China.
Okay.
Which is weird, bro, right? Okay, so he doesn't just adopt one child from China. He adopts multiple children from China because of the bet, and the guy doesn't change, decided, like, went back on the bet and said, I'm still pro-choice.
Yeah, obviously you're not going to change someone's, Why would you even take that? Like, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm so done with convincing anyone on anything.
So she also says, this is Sandra Bullock again. She says, I have to think about what they're going to experience leaving the home. They're going to have my fear, but how can I make sure my anxiety is accurate and protective? Your kids, as the children of a rich, extremely rich, wealthy American woman, will not live the same lives as black children in Chicago, will not live the same lives as black children in Philadelphia. Your children are going to be privileged beyond anything most of us would ever deem the ability to even understand, right? This is the most NIMBY liberal leftist value I've ever seen. And she's talking about it, and we've talked about this recently. Daniel Radcliffe said in an interview, says, we can trust kids to tell us who they are. I'm like, you don't have kids, right? So maybe like...
Pro tip.
Like that when you're a kid, you understand, like your parents are supposed to be the ones that tell you, no, you're not a fire engine. You're just a person.
How do you get to 30-something and don't realize that kids are stupid?
Yeah, they're dumb.
Like, imagine
still dumb. I am still dumb, and I'm in my 30s.
Dane, I love you.
Same. But it's like, how? How are you that dumb that you're like, you know who we should value and set our moral fabric system?
Yeah.
Freaking stupid kids.
Yeah.
Like, how am I gonna take these people even seriously? Again, that's why I insist on not using the term woke. We gotta name them by their names. They're called progressives.
Yeah.
They're pie in the sky idiots, and calling them woke is doing them good because we obfuscate from the real issue.
Yep. The actress shared an instance of her son, Louis Bardo Bullock, who was wearing a hoodie when he was 6 years old. He popped that hoodie on his head, and I went, Sandra said with a shudder, referencing Trayvon Martin, the young boy who was only 17 years old. So
look at all these correlations.
She's got to be mentally ill, right?
No, it's, I mean, just the lowest common denominator freaking progressive idiot going through life.
Worrying about her child looking suspicious. I'm like, well, you're going to be living in the Valley or Calabasas. Like your kid will be living a more privileged life than most of us than we will ever be able to truly understand. And it goes to the heart of how these people see the world.
Yeah.
They're letting their kids parent them because they're idiots.
My parents wouldn't.
Yep. In the chat, he says, kids are cruel as F if they should not be our thought leaders. Yeah. Isn't the whole joke supposed to be that when you're in high school, you're just an awful person?
Yes.
Like Mean Girls was a thing. Boys and girls can both be cruel. When did we start looking to children to teach us anything?
Do you want an answer?
Yes.
Greta Thunberg.
Ugh.
I mean, that right there. That was when the little girl started yelling at the adults, and the adults went,
Ugh, that's horrible.
yeah.
Horrible.
I know.
Well, and also that's done as a way you can't criticize them. We would be seen as bad for criticizing this here.
Bro. Okay. Think about all the slogans. Black Lives Matter. How do you disagree with that?
You can't.
You can't.
Well, I mean that's done on purpose. The language is done on purpose.
Why they use the kids on purpose? Because you can't tell them that they're idiots.
Yep. It's absolutely ridiculous. So just remember, guys, if you're a parent, if you have kids, as long as you're not Sandra Bullock level stupid, you're doing better than somebody in the world. So it doesn't even really matter.
Low bar.
Low bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was crazy that she said that she's proud that she's voicing. I just can't imagine things shouldn't the response have been, look, honey, I understand what you're saying, and diversity is a good thing, but this was a show that was shot in South Korea, and their racial demographics are different than they are here. And just because they look the same there doesn't make it a bad thing. There's actually a golden place there for a lesson that could have been learned, right?
Literally what my parents would have told me.
Yeah.
Because my parents aren't whack jobs.
Yeah. Well, I was like, these are the globalists, right? These are she's the one who should be teaching them that because her kid has a more likely chance of going to South Korea than I ever will. Maybe you should learn a thing or two about it before you do something like this. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.